I was introduced to Tibetan Buddhism in 2003, drawn deeply into its teachings. But everything changed when I came across news of sexual harassment within the circle, and even more personally, when I experienced it firsthand. This led to a shift in my perception of the Tulku system. Is it flawless? Or are there deeper, darker elements to consider? The concept of guru devotion. In Tibetan Buddhism, guru devotion is often emphasized. One must obey a guru's wishes, as they would Buddha himself. Teachers are revered as perfect beings. But what happens when a guru crosses ethical boundaries? There are examples of bad boy Rinpoches, like Sogyal Rinpoche, Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, Khenpo Tashi, Khenpo Choga, Yangtze Dilgo Khyentse, to show that these problems are not isolated. These gurus often manipulate their position, using teachings like the absolute truth to justify their wrongful actions. It's an unfortunate reality that the ego can exploit Dharma teachings to condone immoral actions, much like any destructive force in history that rationalizes its behavior. In the next clip, you'll see how the ego can be incredibly deceptive, even justifying harmful actions, such as the sexual abuse of girls and smoking, by claiming it's a way to break through dualistic thinking.
The reason I engage in the smoking of the cigarette that time and then drinking is because I wanted to break through, and I have no fear. When I do it, I'm doing it out of pure intention. Please understand. I'm only showing this to you so that you all think, okay, he is so-called Buddhist or whatever. He is taking it without fear in front of all of you, in front of the cameras and video. I'm just proving you, when you do this, if you don't have the proper intention, it's very dangerous. I did this today just to tell myself I break through my dualistic mind.
On May 17, 2024, the 7th Shechen Rabjam Rinpoche issued a memo urging devotees not to blindly follow a guru or engage in anything that makes them uncomfortable. He emphasized the importance of not obeying instructions that lack integrity, even if they come from someone holding a title or position of power. The memo encouraged devotees to preserve their freedom of choice and use their own discerning wisdom. It also made clear that he does not support any high Rinpoches or Khenpos who misuse their titles to exploit others or engage in unethical behavior. Then, on January 8, 2025, the Shechen Monastery Management Committee issued an official statement confirming that Khyentse Yangtze Rinpoche is no longer affiliated with the monastery and has been relieved of all duties until further notice. This decision was made in light of his repeated claims that he does not consider himself a Shechen Lama, along with numerous sexual misconduct allegations against him. Next, I'd like to bring your attention to another guru, Khenpo Choga, who has been accused of manipulating and sexually assaulting 2 of his disciples. These brave individuals have stepped forward to break their silence, which takes an immense amount of courage after enduring such a painful experience. It is heartbreaking when the person they trusted the most turns out to be the very one who destroys them.
After her letter to the board describing the events of December 12, 2013, the people she considered her closest confidants, including a childhood friend who brought Rachel to Veneta in 2011, the family she lived with and the kids she cared for, all of them stopped talking to her.
Suddenly I couldn't even be in their home because I told them what had happened to me in my life.
This hurt Rachel the most.
Unfortunately, not getting to say goodbye to the kids and to her has been most of the nightmares I've had in the years since. Like me trying to reach for the kids.
After that, Rachel left Eugene and joined the Peace Corps. Time away gave her time to think and process what happened to her.
It took me years to unravel the way I came to think about the world when I was working and living there.
Well, over the course of many years, like over 100 times.
And how, according to a pending legal case, on another night when they were traveling, Choga entered Ricky Ann's bedroom and raped her.
I didn't realize how coercive it was, even though I was experiencing that coercion and that force. It's like an invisible force, because I was being told, if now that we are doing this, you can never not do this with me, and you have to stay close with me, or you can never be in this community again.
According to the lawsuit, the sexual abuse evolved into verbal and physical abuse.
He punched you?
Yeah.
Multiple times?
Yes.
Had you ever seen him hit somebody else?
Yes.
He uses that too, right? Physical abuse?
Yes.
Ricky Ann says the abuse endured.
So, what actually went wrong? The ego perpetuates harmful actions. Even in moments of war, ego justifies destruction. Likewise, a guru, driven by lust or control, can twist the Dharma to meet their needs, all while remaining a revered figure in the community. As the Buddha said, action makes a man an outcast. Action makes a man a Brahmin. It's clear, the problem lies in the individual, not in the Dharma itself. Affirm the purity of Dharma. Dharma, at its core, is a connection with our true nature, one of love, compassion, and wisdom. The abuse of power by a few doesn't diminish its truth. We must remember that the Dharma itself is pure, and the fault lies not in the teachings, but in the actions of the individual. The Buddha himself addressed this point in a conversation with a Brahmin, which perfectly aligns with the issue we're discussing today.
My Lord, your disciples claim that your Dharma, teachings, is flawless and pristine, and yet I see some of your disciples gone astray. How could this happen?
My dear Brahmin, do you know the road from the capital of Magadha to the capital of Kosala?
Oh yes, my Lord, like the palm of my hand.
My dear Brahmin, what if someone asked you directions to go from the capital of Magadha to the capital of Kosala, and you gave him the directions accurately? Yet, you find that person had gone astray.
My Lord, while giving that person accurate directions, if that person had not listened to me attentively, or while giving that person accurate directions, he had listened to me attentively, but not followed my instructions properly, am I to be blamed for that person going astray?
Then, my dear Brahmin, while I expounded this Dharma, if my disciples had not listened to me attentively, or while I expounded this Dharma, my disciples had listened to me attentively, but not followed my instructions properly, am I to be blamed for my disciples going astray? Do not call one a Brahmin, because he is born to a Brahmin mother. I call him a Brahmin, one who possesses nothing and who takes nothing. Not by matted hair, nor by clan or family, caste, nor by birth does one become a Brahmin, but one who is truthful and righteous, pure and Dhammic is a Brahmin. Likewise, being born as a Tulku or recognized as a Rinpoche does not automatically make someone enlightened. It is our actions that define who we are, not the titles we hold. We have come to the end of our video, and I sincerely wish all spiritual seekers the best in their quest for truth, compassion, and enlightenment. The Dharma is not flawed. It's the actions of individuals that may betray it. Let us strive to embody its true essence in every thought and deed. But let us not forget the emotional damage from such sexual abuse is unimaginable. Prevention is better than cure, and we must raise awareness to protect vulnerable seekers. If you are a victim or need help, please reach out to satoricave@gmail.com. Let's ensure no one else falls victim to such tragedy. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and join our growing community here at Satori Awakening Cave. Your support, whether through subscribing, sharing, or even becoming a channel member, allows me to continue creating meaningful content that shines a light on truth and supports spiritual seekers on their journey.